I'm an electrician running a solar business, and I don't think solar's right for everyone. The truth is that these solar giants are coming in and they're just selling solar to absolutely anybody without giving it any real thought as to whether it's good for the customer or not. It frustrates the heck out of me, so I decided to make a video out of 5 key points as to why get a solar system, but also 5 key points as to why solar may not be the best option for you. So what made you choose us? What was your main reasoning?
Seemed or was going to be perfect for us.
It was a no-brainer.
With solar, bigger is better.
Get that in.
Not only is it a gym session, it's also partner working.
This is it.
Right. This is our mains position at the back of the property here. So right here we've got the mains box right there. That's where the electricity comes into the property. So what we've done is we've decided to set up the install right here. So it's right next to the mains. We've got our gateway here. So that gateway is responsible for the changing over between using grid electricity or using renewable energy in the case of a power cut. So on this job we got Paul, our main guy for doing the solar. We've got Trevor and Rue up there on the roof cracking on with it. And we have myself project managing. Okay. Paul's getting brave now. Oh my goodness, there he goes. There he goes. That wasn't a battery, by the way. That was the inverter, considerably lighter. So we're on the roof with Trevor and Ruben at the moment, and they're currently getting in the roof hooks in position. The roof hooks are really important because they are what is actually attaching to the structure of the building. And then off of those roof hooks, we're then going to be putting the aluminium rails onto the roof hooks. And then that is what the solar panels then attach to. They attach to that rail, which is attached to the hooks, which is attached to the building. In this battery storage, we've got a 10 kilowatt hour battery here, we've got a 6 kilowatt hour battery here, and the inverter size, 8 kilowatt single phase inverter on top. So this is the energy controller, this is the brains of the whole system here. The first point about solar might be right for you. If you drive an electric vehicle or you have a heat pump at your property, your payback is going to be significantly quicker. Alternatively, if your electricity bill is around about £100, then realistically, your payback period is just going to be too long to make it worthwhile as an investment.
It's gonna sit there. I'm sure the electricians have a good trick for this, but probably do it on the ground.
Okay, so this cable here is the 4mm doubly insulated PV cable. So this is rated for DC voltage. Basically, we string these out and we tie them against the rails, and then one end of this will connect into the first panel. Then the panels then interlink with each other. Each one of these panels has got its own plug connectors on it. So simply the panels then interlink right the way along, right the way around the whole array. And then from the last panel, we then take another DC cable, which goes back over. So essentially what we end up here is one cable that goes from the inverter, that goes out to feed the panels. It goes all the way around the circuit of the panels, and then comes back on the other DC leg back to the inverter. I'd imagine you guys could do with some zip ties.
Yes, I've got a couple.
You got a couple? Zip ties. I always forget the zip ties.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Zip ties.
Oh, nice one. Cheers for that.
All right, look at that. Yeah. Now, the second reason for getting solar is because you care about the environment and you don't want to rely on the grid. The downside is that the battery warranty is for 10 years. For some people, they won't see payback within 10 years. While the roofers are working up there, they are preparing the cabling that's going to be dropped down to us down here. And then down here from the solar arrays, there's going to be 2 circuits. One of them is going to be going into this DC isolator here, and the other will be going into this one here. So the cables will come from the solar panels into the DC isolators, and then from the DC isolators into the inverter, which is also known as the energy controller. And then from that point then, the energy then has an option of where it's going to go. The energy controller will decide. If there's solar power needed to power the home, then it will prioritize the solar power going into the home. And then as a secondary option, it will automatically put the power, any additional power, straight into the battery. And off the back of that, if there's any additional power after that, then the rest of it will get sent back to the grid, where the customer will then get paid for what they're exporting back. Me and Paul got this thing, every time he comes to Bristol, which is frequently, we always go out for a curry. We do love a curry, don't we?
Don't tell the missus.
Yeah, don't tell the missus. They think we're having like admin sessions, meeting up with the laptop to discuss business. That's it. Right, so we've got here the optimizers. Here's one that's already connected. These optimizers connect directly to every single solar panel. And the reason for that is that if one goes into shade, it's the equivalent of them all going into shade. So if one drops down to 100 watts of power capabilities, then they all drop down to 100 watts. Whereas by having these optimizers on them, it means that they all perform individually from each other. So if one panel goes into shade at 100 watts, but the others are capable of doing the full 450 watts each, it means that all the others will still remain at an optimal 450 watt level each. It's just the one that's going to go down to the 100 watts. This third reason could be right for you. If you're using a lot of power, then your payback could be as little as 3 to 6 years. The downside to that is that over the past 10 years, electricity's been cheap.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
So you'll see with this system that we're trying to get as many panels on here as possible, hence the reason why we're getting panels across here, but we're also getting some on these smaller sections here as well, with the help of the optimizers. The reason why we're doing this is because basically you want to try and fit as many panels on the roof as possible. And the reason for this is because not every day is an amazing day in Great Britain. You need to look at this as, imagine a fishing boat goes out with a great big fishing net. If that fishing net goes down, then it might be a great day and there might be lots of fish in that fishing net. Fantastic. It's a great day. However, on a bad day and there's not many fish around, then at least you'll be glad you've got the biggest fishing net possible. That's exactly the same as a solar system. The more panels you got up there, well, you got the teams here and the scaffoldings up, the solar system, the solar panels themselves don't actually cost that much money. So it makes sense to get as many out there as possible, so that on a great day, you're going to be making lots of solar energy, but on a poor day, then at least you're making as much energy as possible.
Okay, dropping it. That at the bottom, so
I was like, yeah, because I saw that one go on and I was a bit confused. I thought, how is that going to tie up? Seeing that you only just put the first one on there, how is that going to tie up with here? And you've...
Well, it's kind of there temporarily.
Yeah, it was there temporarily, but it's just worked out to be absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
It's a brand new day, but it's the same old weather. The roofers are completed on this job now, so let's go up and take a look. Sean the sheep, there he is. Hello, boy. So now the roofing element is finished here. What we've got is 9 panels which are facing west. We've got 1 over here facing south, and then just on the other side of the roof there, we've got another 2 which are also facing west. Over the other side of the roof, they're all facing east. Let's go and take a look. Check out the fire pit there. They've actually attached a scooter wheel to it so you can maneuver it around. Look at this. Look at this. So on all our jobs, we always fit bird mesh. This is something that's really important for a couple of reasons. One of them being is that obviously it stops the birds getting under because they will nest under here. And what that can do is create hot patches, hot spots underneath the panels, which can damage the panels. It can lower the efficiency of your solar array. The fourth reason to get solar is that you can use it to generate an income. Not only can you sell your solar electricity back to the grid, but you can also charge your batteries at night time on cheap rates of electricity and then sell it back at peak rate times. The downside is that batteries can take up a lot of space. We're on the east side of the building, so the solar system is now complete, bird mesh round, the roofers have done a fantastic job. So this is the east side, and all the cabling comes straight down here, down the back wall of the property. And lovely, lovely, down into the conduit, into these isolators, into the system here. Gateway's now wired up into the mains as well, fantastic. The earth rod is now down, because with these systems, when they go into backup mode, where you're not relying on the grid anymore, if the grid earth gets damaged, then this system has to have its own independent earth to make sure that everything's safe in the property. So yeah, we're now doing the final stages now of just getting the AC side of things connected, where the inverter is now going to be finally connected in through the generation meter, and a damn good tidy up, some commissioning, and then we're all done. Ingenious Pool has upgraded. We now have, look at this, from a structural engineer's perspective, this is absolute gold. We now got the step ladder, we got the board, wooden boards, and we've even got the cardboard as well. And
the steps are insulated for any lightning strikes.
And the steps are insulated in case of any lightning strikes. He's thought of everything.
Basically putting an outdoor box here just to put the generation meter in, obviously because it's not IP rated, and keep it nice and watertight with a seal around the edge. Leon! Where are you? I'm going to change his name to Houdini. He always disappears. Houdini!
Oh, I'm ringing you.
Houdini. That's what they're calling you, Houdini.
Hold on. Hello?
Here he is,
Here I
running away
am.
for a battery.
Lastly, solar can be a great investment for your property. It can add up to 2% to the value of your home. And the last downside to solar systems, they need regular maintenance and service checks. And the solar panels need cleaning from time to time also. So you're seeing my perspective on whether solar's worth it or not. Let's take a look from a couple of my existing customers on why they chose to get solar. Thank you, Paul, for deciding to have a little chat with me. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to talk to you really and ask a few questions about how you're getting on with things. And basically, my first question is, was saving money the main reason for getting solar?
Partially. So we recently bought an electric vehicle. So it was probably started the thought process of making some savings when we're refueling the vehicle on an evening at home. Once we sort of investigated that process, it's quite apparent that we were going to make some big savings. And I like to sort of think that I'm getting about a 10% return on investment.
One of the principal reasons we plumped for going solar was that we have a hot tub and we've got some other bits and pieces here at the house. And we were looking at how much that was actually costing us over the period of time. And I thought to myself, right, okay, well, we either suck that up from a energy perspective, or we look at ways to mitigate it. So it was kind of from a longevity perspective, going solar was probably the best option, because after a period of time, the system itself will kind of pay for itself.
So what made you choose us? What was your main reasoning?
Why did I choose you? Mainly because I saw you on YouTube. I saw you doing stuff online, and I could see that there was social proof there, because you're doing what you're doing now with me, so it was kind of verifiable. There's a lot of people out there that are doing solar. There's a lot of people out there that are unqualified doing solar.
Very much more a user of local business people. It's a good way to work. So I think that is in respect, if there is any issues, I've got someone local I can make a phone call and hopefully get someone out to look at it or talk me through something very quickly.
So now you've had your system installed for sort of, say, 6 to 9 months now, is there anything that you would choose to do differently with the system?
No, not particularly. I mean, it works very, very well. We've got the app on our phone, so, during the summer, and we've had a brilliant summer, it's kind of look on the phone, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, okay, we can see the amount of energy that we're exporting, which means that, it's reducing our overheads at the house. Generally speaking, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, the install was very smooth. The boys that came in were very professional, and they were. We've got 7 dogs in the property as well, 7 border collies, and they were very, very good with them. And they were very accommodating, and it was done very, very quickly as well.
I think the only sort of bit of advice I can say to when choosing is go as big as you think you're going to need, if not overspec a touch.
Yes.
Because with solar, bigger is better.
What was the deciding factors in it overall? Not necessarily choosing us, but more so just about, thinking, right, okay, yeah, we need to get a solar system here.
The main thing for me was the fact of the longevity of it. It's the kind of the fact that once it's in, it's in. And then, it will pay for itself over a period of time. And then you've got a system which is bought and paid for, and then you just quit in thereafter, and it's kind of, and it will reduce the energy bill going forward quite considerably. And it's not one of those things that you do lightly, because it is an initial outlay. But, at the end of the day, after the period of time has lapsed, you get that back. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons that we did it, was that, it from a green perspective as well, because then it's more environmentally friendly, and overall, from a costing perspective, it was the winner.
I think for us, it really was a little bit of suck it and see, to be honest, because I don't know anyone else else who's got solar to ask. So it was about a little bit of research and found that it seemed or was going to be perfect for us. The EV car, the electric car, that was the crucial part. That was the kicker for us, because we knew we could make instant savings. I mean, we save, for example, here over £120 to £150 per month on fuel alone.
You're a high energy user. You've got a really good building structure to put it onto, and yeah, it was worth the investment all day long, wasn't it? Because you had the funds there to pay for it. So just from that point of view, when you roll it all together, it kind of just makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was basically, right, okay, we need to look at this. We need to look at how we're going to implement this over a period of time. I mean, me and my other half, bless her, we sat down. We were talking about moving or doing this, that and the other, and we said, no, we're going to be staying here. And then in that kind of conversation, it became apparent that, okay, if we're staying, then we need to invest in the property. And one of the things was, well, let's get solar put in because it's going to save us, time, money in the future, and also, probably it's going to add value to the property at some point in the future.
So guys, please leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you, because as you can see, there's many different options. There's lots of pros, there's lots of cons, and lots of different angles and perspectives on this. So I'd love to hear from you. But as an installer, I try to do my absolute best to try and help people make an informed decision. But ultimately, it's down to you. Oh, when the sun has come out for me to film this clip. So what I did want to say to you guys is that if you've had a quote and you're not sure on what you're being told is right, or whether someone's got your best interests at hand throughout that quote process, get in contact, because I'd love to hear from you. My contact details are down below this video. Contact me anytime, guys. I'm always happy if you want to get a second opinion.